Hi, welcome back to Real Auto Reports. I'm Jonathan McGrew, and today we have the 2013 all-new Nissan Pathfinder. This is the Platinum Edition, and this is the Real First Impressions Video Edition, so let's check it out. From the front, what you notice immediately about the 2013 Nissan Pathfinder is that it seems larger. It seems maybe softer than the previous generations, and it has a wider, lower, more substantial presence. You have a very large Nissan badge in the grille. You can see that this model here, being the Platinum, has the fog lights and a lot of nice accent trim. The thing that I really notice about this Pathfinder is that it's getting closer to the size and the presence of the Armada, its larger cousin. And, you know, I think for the way that SUVs have been going, it's probably not surprising, but it will be surprising to people who liked the ruggedness of the previous Pathfinder. This seems a lot more urban and a lot less off-road. Let's take a look at the side. From the side, you do get a sense of how large the Pathfinder has become, and I think it's really competing with the Toyota Highlander type of vehicle these days. It has the ability for the third row. It has a power rear hatch. You can see the 20-inch alloy wheels here that, I mean, they just don't look that big on this car. And I think that in the SUV world, the Pathfinder has really made a metamorphosis into a more urban and family-centric vehicle. It still can go off-road. It still has the four-wheel drive. But you can see from the side here that it is not as boxy and the lines are not as crisp as they have been in previous generations. That said, I think the way the design language has come together is quite nice. You can see the same design cues as you've seen on the Maxima and the Z and the Ultima, all coming together in this 2013, this new design. And from the side, I like the accents. You've got the chrome on the roof rails, the door handles, and the lower part of the door that really set the proportions of this vehicle, and then a nice integration of the rear taillight into the rear fenders and the sweeping lines of the front headlights as it draws your eye back along the belt line of the car there. Nice detail. It's a nice truck. The question is it what Nissan customers were expecting? From the back, again, a tidy design. What I do notice here, and I thought I would point out, is that this does have a rear spoiler, but notice that they filled in, it doesn't hang over really. It's all filled in with black plastic there. I think this is really to mitigate the way that air moves around the vehicle. Also notice the fairly large rear antenna there for the navigation, the satellite radio, and so on. You can see that this does have the third brake light way up in the spoiler. The rear wiper, it's got a rear reverse camera. This model also has the park assist in the rear. It can tow up to 5,000 pounds. 500 would seem pretty minuscule, wouldn't it? 5,000 pound towing capacity, and it's all nicely integrated in this rear bumper. The other thing I notice about this is that the taillights are well designed, and still you can follow that belt line body design into the taillight, and then it wraps nicely and really finishes off well here in the back. All in all, I think Nissan's done a nice job, and you have the optional power rear hatch to help you get stuff into the back of the vehicle, so it will automatically open and close for you. All good stuff, but we've got to take a look inside. From the driver's seat, this is where you know you're in a Nissan. There is no doubt that when you look inside of the new Pathfinder for 2013, that you are in a Nissan vehicle, and the metamorphosis of the design to make this more car-like, even though it's an SUV. You'll notice that it has a lot more soft curves, the integration of the dashboard and the doors, and the navigation system, all very similar to the Maxima and even the G sedans from Infiniti. This is a lot less like, I think,
the old Pathfinder or the Xterra, and more like a combination of their current sedans and the Armada. Very nicely appointed, comfortable interior, although I would like to see more contrast in the finishes, because as you can see from this view, everything is one color and there's not a lot of differentiation in the color palette inside of this particular Platinum model, which is really the top of the line. So you might say this is as good as it gets. Under the hood, you're going to find the pretty standard Nissan 3.5 liter V6 engine with 260 horsepower and 240 foot-pounds of torque. Of course, this is mated to the Xtronic CVT, or continuously variable transmission, and also the intuitive four-wheel drive, something that is going to be newer to the Nissan folks out there. And this four-wheel drive has the selectable modes, which makes it a lot more intuitive, hence its name, because it has a two-wheel drive, an auto setting, so basically it'll do it for you, and a four-wheel drive lock mode, or several modes actually. You also can tow 5,000 pounds, as I mentioned before, and it has nice safety features like the electronic brake force distribution, four-wheel ventilated disc brakes, anti-lock brakes, traction control, anti-skid control, all of those things. You're going to see about 19 miles per gallon in city, 25 on the highway, and the EPA estimates about 21 miles per gallon combined. And that's not bad for a vehicle that does 0 to 60 in the 4x4 model at around 8 seconds. That also is not far off what the 2002 Pathfinders used to do in the 4x2 model. So you can see that they have made this vehicle larger, more capable, and yet you're still getting decent performance out of a full-figured SUV. Hitting the road in the 2013 Nissan Pathfinder, well, it is a Platinum model, and so it is comfortable. The thing that I noticed the most is that this vehicle just seems large. It feels large on the road, and to some degree that gives you a sense of security, a sense that you can drive through just about anything. But on a first impression, the other thing that it makes you feel is like you're not sure where the vehicle is. And so one of the things I noticed immediately in driving the vehicle is that it's harder to tell where the front nose is because of the rake of that, the pitch, if you will, of that front end and how it disappears out of sight. And also the view and visibility out the back is not the greatest because you can have the third row up, and there is a lot of roll cage and safety in the back, so you don't have clear and open visibility. However, the rear camera and the park assist really do help with that. And all in all, especially with the sunroof, a lot of light does come in the vehicle, and with the light interior, the driving experience is smooth, it's comfortable, the steering is on the lighter side, but I think that Nissan has done a nice job trying to balance it. But it does need more time, or at least I should say I needed more time with it. From a first impressions perspective, I couldn't really decide if I was in love with it or if I wasn't really thrilled with it. In the end, we'll just have to see what the real video, the real review, reveals about the 2013 Nissan Pathfinder. The overview of this new 2013 Pathfinder is coming up next, so stay tuned.
So that's the Real First Impressions video edition on the 2013 Nissan Pathfinder. This is a full-size SUV. Well, as full-size as really they come if you're not going up to the Armada, but it is an all-new redesigned SUV for 2013 and right about 44,000, little over as tested actually. And with the 3.5 liter V6 engine, Nissan fans are going to be very familiar with this 260 horsepower coming out of this vehicle. The Pathfinder is definitely different than the previous generation, and it's going to take some getting used to. But with the really nice third row option, the DVD optional entertainment system for the back seat, second row passengers, rear heated seats, and a lot of other really nifty features, this SUV is very capable. It has the automatic four-wheel drive system that, well, honestly will get you around anywhere you need to go in town and probably up in the mountains like we have here in the Rocky Mountain region. We think Nissan's done a good job making this compete with vehicles like the Toyota Highlander, and it definitely looks the part as well. If you like the older, more rugged look, well, you'll have to talk to Nissan about that. For Real Auto Reports, I'm Jonathan McGrew, and we'll see you down the road.